Every single Saturday night before we get out, we love to give you a look at what the new top 25 will be from the AP poll voters when they update their rankings on Sunday. Now, as we mentioned, there is a discussion about Texas A&M standing. Not should. Do you think they will jump Indiana?
No.
Last week in voting points, Indiana was closer to Ohio State than it was Texas A&M. I think that will not be the case. I believe Texas A&M will cut into that deficit. I do not think that they will get enough. I think they'll maybe even catch a couple extra first place votes to especially make that interesting. You know, the difference in the first place votes, like if you get a first place vote that is worth 25 voting points, second 24, third 23. So it's not like a couple first place votes will really change that much. But I would not be surprised if Texas A&M, given the profile it's put together, being undefeated, coming out of a handy road win against Missouri, I think they'll get a little bit more of attention and debate for that spot. But as it stands, I do not think we will see a change in Ohio State at 1, Indiana at 2, Texas A&M at 3, Alabama at 4, Georgia at 5, and even Oregon at 6 and Ole Miss at 7. I think top 7 holds steady.
I would agree. And also, if you are arguing that A&M should pass Indiana today because Indiana struggled with Penn State and A&M beat Missouri, then you're admitting that you forgot Indiana went on the road and beat Oregon by 10, because that did still happen, even if it didn't happen today. And after beating Missouri, Notre Dame might be A&M's best win and the only ranked win, which was also a road win and is also a good win. But when you're comparing the resumes, there's just not enough there to really justify moving A&M ahead of them after today's results, if you weren't already there.
Right. So we will again, they had 1 first place vote last week. I'm looking for 3, out of a 65 voters, you might catch another stray. There were 55 for Ohio State, 11 for Indiana. You might catch, a little bit of changing of the minds there. Now, one thing that I mentioned in the article that you can read right now on CBSSports.com and will need some adjustments because apparently San Diego State doesn't want to handle the waves well, and so I'm going to have to adjust that.
Don't go on water.
This is the beginning of the cat and mouse game. And the cat and mouse game is AP voters put out their rankings on Sunday. The selection committee puts out their rankings on Tuesday. Now, the selection committee says that they don't look at any other rankings, but the selection committee is made up of individuals that are very, very comfortable with college sports. Like, this is the sitting athletic directors at Baylor. This is the sitting athletic director at Nebraska. This is the sitting athletic director at the University of Virginia. This is the sitting athletic director at Middle Tennessee. This is the sitting athletic director that we have right now at Miami, Ohio. Like, you don't think that they know the top 25? I mean, this is Jeff Long, who is the athletic director at both Kansas and Arkansas. I mean, this is Wesley Walls, the Carolina Panthers legend. This is 3 former FBS head coaches. Chris Alt, the legend from Nevada fame. Obviously, Mark D'Antonio, what he did at Michigan State. And on top of all of that, Mike Riley, good gravy. So many places, so many stories. They know, those are the selection committee members. They know what the rankings look like. And also they make some free choices. They are independent thinkers, right? They put Iowa in there. They put Pitt in there, and they put Texas ahead of Oklahoma. So among the changes that I am projecting that include changes for teams that did not play, I would not be surprised if the AP voters are like, oh yeah, Texas and Oklahoma, they do have the same record and they did play. So I'm going to project a little bit of a swap. And I mentioned in the article, it is only out of the cat and mouse, right? There will be enough voters like, you know what? You're right, guys. Also, because we're going to have 5 teams get bounced from the rankings, I don't think it's crazy to project that Pitt will make an appearance after Pitt made an appearance in the college football playoff selection committee rankings.
I don't want them to.
That's fine.
I like unranked Pitt. I think like Pitt's chance of causing absolute chaos is better if they're unranked.
That is your preference.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that is your preference. Yeah. But
no, I'm not challenging you. No.
But do you agree that when it comes to, okay, so Tulane's going to get in, sure, come on board. But when it comes to grabbing other teams for those spots in the 20s, when, by the way, I am projecting Virginia all the way out, Louisville all the way out, Missouri, you're gone, Memphis, you're gone, Washington, you're out. So we got
BYU.
Oh, BYU hangs on for sure because they've got to win against Utah.
Bud's got him at 43rd
now. Like, for example, I think Tulane obviously cracks into the rankings. I think James Madison is another option too. They were just on the outside looking in. Pitt was 28th in last week's balloting, and Iowa was a team that was in front of them. So you definitely have enough momentum to get in there. So yeah, those are a couple of the cat and mouse that we're going to have from the selection committee to the AP voters. So where else are you looking for possible changes in the rankings?
Missouri's obviously out. If we think Iowa or if we think Oregon is a top 6 team, and Iowa was the number 1 in receiving votes, who was unranked, and they just played that top 16 to a single score. Is there any chance that they get in?
People way too much critical thinking skills.
Like Tennessee is in with 3 losses.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong either. For example, I do not think that Iowa will break into the AP poll, but the committee could definitely leave Iowa because they had them at 20.
My prediction is the AP poll in a pushback against the playoff ranking will have a bunch of G5 teams in there. It'll be like a silent protest.
So that means South Florida's in, North Texas is in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe even
you see them get a lot more votes because none of them were ranked last week.
It's just so hard because South Florida won the head-to-head against Memphis. If Memphis is going to get bounced, how do you put South Florida in? How do you put North Texas in because they got run by South Florida?
I think it's easier to not ignore, but not make head-to-head the trump card this late in the season. You have so many data points. That was one game. It should matter. It should matter a little more than just any other singular game. But
so then it's South Florida. South Florida's sitting here. We lost to Memphis in a 4th quarter game on the road. We lost to Miami, which is still ranked. And other than that, we've taken care of business, including kicking North Texas's teeth in. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Lane Kiffin, he photobombed a proposal today, and he also retweeted the benching of DJ Lagway.
It's Lane. He's out there doing.
You saw? Oh, did you see Cutter Boley hit the Calzada?
No.
Are you familiar with this? Good. Let's finish top 25. My bad. I'm derailing this badly.
So.
Do you have any schedule updates for Florida State?
Yeah. Hey, we broke the news.
We did. We didn't get any damn credit for
Nobody
it.
Nobody credited us.
BYU won't fall far because of their win against Utah, which was off this week. That got BYU falling outside of the top 10, but down to about the mid-teens. Slight bumps up, but we had Michigan off. We had Tennessee off. We had Cincinnati off. So a lot of that fluctuation is going to be there in the 21 through 25 spot for the full projected top 25 and an update here. Unless San Diego State comes back, head on over to CBSSports.com.